What's going on, boys? Hello? What's up, man? We're playing? Hold on. I'm opening a present. Fuck. Yeah. Boys,
We about to get some dub.
bro, I have a predicament. I need some advice.
What?
So, one of my options is on the money, bro.
Hold up, wait till Bear comes back.
Yeah, I want Bear to actually weigh in. I was trying to like contact Bear, but my phone was like out of commission.
Where's Bear?
Bro, let's practice in creative real quick.
Yeah, let's play. No, that's not. Let's play things Zone War real quick.
Nah,
Bro, that's how you supposed to warm up, bro.
I was doing creative.
Nah, not creative, bro. We only got 4 niggas. That's trash.
But it's not like more people added to the lobby?
No.
Very
interesting.
super fan.
Hell no. Don't wait for Bear.
Find that skin.
Wait, everybody gets same skin, then we know who's who.
Yeah, we're the same skin. Yo, Skull Trooper gang.
Let's go.
At least we know who's Tamed. We all need a different Skull Trooper.
So nobody has the OG, so we can't do that.
Wait, you didn't unlock the purple yet?
Change your thing, Ratu.
Hold on one second. I just got a present. That's what I got. The Millennium Falcon. Not letting me leave the men. Is it Fortnite? It's a permanent peppermint pick. Okay.
Oh, I have that. Do you have this?
Yeah, I got. Alright, let's leave your stupid dodge. Skull Trooper. Yeah, you got the white one, bro.
No, bro, change your Skull Trooper.
I know, I'm saying you got the white one.
Yeah, so.
Hold on, do you have all white or the original? Drag this one. Oh. Got that one.
It's fine. Put it.
Oh.
Wait,
Oh,
let me
it
get different. Let me get the cape. So what if somebody wear the same thing as me?
Bro, we still know it's you.
I'm gonna wear this cape. How about this? Shout out to You see that cape, Rafi?
I can't see it. Dance. Not that dance, bro. Something that I can see in the background.
Oh, that's not that.
You can dance that makes you spin. There you go. Yo, I bought an option today for Uber. Made $30 on it this morning. Unvaulted. Bear just invited me.
Hey.
Gotta join up with him. Hello, sir.
Yo. It doesn't let me join up on
Explain the difference.
Scope for bear. Put on zone wars.
So we're not playing regular squads now?
Let's go squad.
Nah. But thing. Zone wars. Put zone war bear. Zone war bear.
your party later.
No, I'm calling it.
Yo, Bear, I gotta ask you something, bro. And Rafi.
What's
Yeah.
So I copped an option a couple of weeks ago. My option is actually about to hit its target price. So should I wait? Because I know it's gonna pass the target price. Am I supposed to buy the stocks and cash out on the option, or should I just cash out on the option?
So the option.
But like I read somewhere where like people sometimes buy the stock and they also get the
You don't have
increase.
capital. You
What?
don't have the capital. You don't have the capital, do you?
Nigga, I'm about to get it together. If I make more money this way, I'm gonna have to. Cause that's easy money. I'm walking away from
Do your
easy money. Am I
research.
not?
Do your research on that, cause I did a
Just
little bit
remember-
about it, but I didn't read up too much.
Never throw in all your bread that you're not scared to lose. Or all the bread you trade with, you should not be scared to lose it. If
Yeah,
it all
facts.
went to zero, this.
I'm okay with it. Like right now, what I have, I'm okay with it. Like I'm not trying to make money if like I'm not putting my money up, you know. And no, my main thing is not to lose my money. So, like the things I pick is like I try to pick shit that's like high volume, so I could trade the option whenever, like sell it or whatever. Why is this taking so long? There we go.
Oh, I didn't even know they had gray snipers.
What the hell? I have a great sniper.
I didn't give
I
me
didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, I got one too. I got somebody on me. Where you guys at?
What you got? Oh, I'm in here with you. Who is this?
Who's this? Oh, it's Bear! Bear, I didn't know!
I'm telling you, bro.
Bro, I'm sorry, Bear. Damn, what do I do?
Reason.
I'm an idiot. I'm like, yo, he's not shooting me. I don't know why. What do I do with all this fucking loot? We got this
bro.
for all sculpture. Okay, I'm sorry, Bear. I apologize. That was dead a mistake, man. I'm an idiot.
the high ground.
Oh, that's okay.
Damn, bro. I don't be knowing it's you.
Bro, you blocked me out.
I'm sorry. Should have confused me earlier.
What does that have to do with you blocking me out, bro?
It was by accident.
Stick it right here. That's not fucking karma. Cause you beat a dick. It's selfish. How you call it a team game and you kill me?
Not by accident.
It's okay.
Wrap up everybody, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, Tip is on all the way on top.
Yeah. He's got good position. I don't know why he's playing like this. He should be way more aggressive, Tip. Tip, shoot at them. There's a guy on your right. Shoot him, bro. He's shooting you.
Build, bro. What are you doing? Build battle him. What do you mean? You're not out of mass. We have 500 bricks. Oh my god.
Yeah, he dropped down because he's a bum, bro. You're good.
Die.
Oh, why did you die?
Wow.
Bro.
Good job, man. Good job.
That was the most ass shit I've ever seen.
Staying alive. Good job staying alive. I'll give him
Yeah,
that. We put up to second, bro.
that's fair. That's fair.
He never got to second in this, to be honest.
Alright, we're all Skull Troopers. Okay. You ever again, bro.
Let's get my son top me to dub.
I got somebody next to me. Where are you guys?
I'm in the steel base.
I'm still in the zone. I didn't break out. I hear people
That
building
box
at me.
next to me.
Me too. I got somebody in my box. Maybe it's me and you. Shoot something. If it's you.
I'm picking up in this,
That's you. That's you. You just shot that?
in this brick shit. Wait, I'm getting shot at.
Oh, I see you, Bear. I'm behind you, Bear. I'm behind you.
Who's the fucking fox?
That's you
Come
building
on.
up on me?
I'm hype, Bear.
Fuck.
I'm hype.
Oh yeah. I'm at the bottom. 96 off of it.
Where? Who?
All the way on the bottom.
I'm right next to you, Bear. I'm right.
Oh, this. Got her. Oh no, she got her.
Bear, that's all you. It's all you. Fox is getting hype.
The fox has height. He's dropping down. He's dropping down. He's coming around. Is Bear alive?
Yeah,
Who's alive in our team? Okay. I'm giving you information. The fox has high ground. He's dropping down. Yep.
Wait, he's above you?
Yep. He's above you.
Where are you, Bear? Are you like in the steel?
I'm on
In the
top.
steel?
Oh, nice, Bear.
Oh yeah, good waterfall. Keep going.
Go, baby. He's right there. He's right there. Yep. Box him. He's under you.
No, drop down on them. They're gonna be low.
How many people are left? How can you tell?
100 grand, they're gonna be low.
Yeah, that's it. One shot. One shot, baby. Right here. Pop him. One more time. Spray.
Damn, no.
Now you good. Build. Cover your back. Nice.
High. Oh, nice. Edit down.
Giants build.
It's over.
Oh my god.
Too far.
Oh, you're. That's clear.
Unless he dies.
Damn, that was so close.
At least we're all getting like all the way up. For me,
Tight.
one of us need to get the dub.
Word.
We gotta link up like sooner.
Just get that M.
Everybody needs to build up as soon as we get it.
Everyone is.
We all need to build up as soon as it happens.
Oh my god, I got the trash shotgun.
Oh, we all have the same loot, just so you know. Everyone allowed gets the same loot.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
got
not
height.
y'all next to me. That's not y'all next to me. Alright, bet.
I hit a guy for 85.
That's chill, bro.
Man, he's trying to
Watch
vibe.
out! Watch out!
I'm not even holding this build, bro.
I hit him.
Yo, no.
Fuck.
Sorry, gym guy. I'm so sorry. Wallahi, I didn't know.
Oh, I was spraying that
Wallahi.
guy.
Wow, pandemonium right here. Pickaxe. Yeah, there you go.
No, he wasn't reloaded. I would have hit him. I would have hit him. Oh my god, that was intense. I would have hit him if my shotgun was reloaded.
What would you kill me, bro? That guy was 1 HP.
Wallahi, I didn't know it was you. Wallahi.
First I slapped and sprayed him.
I couldn't see your skin because you had red, bro. The red was hard to see.
Bro, I'm tired. I lost bullshit.
I got clipped in the back. I need to stop meeting up with Rafi, bro. He's like the worst luck for me. Every time I meet up with him, I die.
You see that, right? You
Yo,
was
chill, man.
Bro, this guy who just won
That guy back,
almost killed me.
He trash. I seen him.
He's trash.
He just third partied you, bro.
I think I remember what you're talking about now, about the shares thing.
You feel me? You can buy.
You're gonna buy the shares at the price that you bought the option at.
Yeah. So I get to cash out on the plus, exactly.
Stock as well. I mean, yeah, the stock.
Yeah. So whatever the increase is times 100. Because I bought out one contract. Somebody on top of me.
Someone's being try-hard as fuck on me. Yo, I'm trying to move to fight try-hard right now. Why are try-hard? I hear someone crouching. Who's that, Tamid?
Yeah, that's me. That's me. Bro. There's a guy on.
Who's that? Who's that?
That's us. Same team. It's us. Guys, don't fire. That's me, my nigga.
I can't tell, bro, because you're back.
No.
Right here. Rafi, push him.
No, not gonna fall.
Oh, that's us, yeah.
He's literally 1 HP.
Y'all alive? I'm still alive.
Oh,
you're right next to me.
Oh,
That's not true, yeah, that's not true.
I'm right behind you, Racho, mucho.
Oh, it's you? Okay.
that's so
Yeah,
good.
nice.
Yeah, yo, sprint. Yeah, man, one more. Yeah, that's the bitch that killed me. Oh, got Max, man. What about you? Think you, Rasul,
I'm
is
getting
your
on.
life.
Oh, that's you. No, that's not you. My bad. Where's the other guy? Is this me and him? They're like, fuck this!
Big up there.
Dad.
I didn't hear him.
I just didn't hear him, bro. I didn't hear him at all.
Good at it.
Fuck! One shot!
He's one shot, he's dead.
14 health.
Damn, Bear, we should have fought, bro.
Bro, I thought
Nah, I shot you, you shot me, whatever. Hey.
Two people left.
I'm about to cook him this one.
Damn, we actually died back to back to back. We all died together.
Oh, dude.
All four of us.
No funny shit. Let's
Yo, let's all wait. Let's
Everyone
all
else,
wait for
yeah.
everyone to rotate.
Yeah, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm not moving at all.
Can't hear you.
Alright.
They don't come inside.
Alright, I'm not leaving my box.
Yeah, don't leave your box.
Me too. I'm in my box.
Don't even move. They don't hear you. And they
I
don't
made a
come.
small 1x1 outside my box just so you can
I think you're right next to me, Rafi. I hear you.
steal. Small.
Oh, somebody's here. Somebody's here. Somebody's here on my left.
My car right now, so you got no way out of that. Yeah, I hear the street.
That's us.
Two, where are you? I think I'm.
I just bodied two niggas, bro.
Oh,
Where are
there's
you?
fighting on my right. Somebody's shooting up on my right. Literally on the box on my right. Oh, D, no way. Bro, where you at, Mo? Oh, yo, Ratu. I mean, no, Chip. I'm right behind you.
There's somebody behind you. Oh, that's Tibbs in the Rafi building.
Bear, this thing has the high ground on you. Yeah, don't try to get high ground on him.
Oh,
Yeah, tight, yeah, tight. We're building up tight right now. Let's go, Trooper. Keep pushing the steel. Go in the steel. Back to the high ground.
yo, nah. Yo.
So you alive?
I'm a bozo for that. I thought that was Tip. I thought that was.
Where are you in the steel? Hold your boat. Spray him, them guys, spray him while Ratu fights him. It's only you guys, only you three alive.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah, spray him with the SMG, them guys.
Oh, damn, he caught me.
Breaking stuff down. Oh, dude.
Got him in the
Yeah,
base.
yo, back out, everyone back out.
Game over?
Wow.
Wow. That was fun.
Hey, one more squad.
I'm waiting for one more.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, we were doing good. It's just that I don't know. We didn't link up and. Shit.
Nah, and the other thing is, in the end, we're
That was
with
the
each other,
first-
but we don't
that
know
was
where we
the
are.
First one though.
And plus, like, we got better as the game scout. Like, we went to game 5. Yo, the flintlock is back today.
Oh, dude. I want to use that shit.
Me too. I want to use it after my pump. Okay, we gotta watch out for this dude with a candy cane pickaxe. Oh, there's a lot of nice niggas. There's like 5 candy cane pickaxes in the lobby. Yeah. You see them?
Link's in the boat. Link's in the boat. Link's in the boat.
Link's at the bottom of the boat. Like build it one by one. Brick.
I've never been to
One
this
brick.
map before. Hold on.
I'm
Don't even know
building
where I am.
brick or steel.
Yeah, brick or steel, brick or steel. If it's wood, I'm shooting.
Yeah.
Huh?
Going in the boat. Going in the boat. I'm ready to go. Oh, fudge,
Yeah,
never
I'm
mind.
leaving.
Boat is not in the circle. Boat is not in the circle. We're gonna go to the circle.
Let's meet up at the shore.
Don't go to the boat. Alright. I'm in like.
Actually, Link's at the boat real quick.
Hold up. I'm in this tall ass brick 1 by 1. If y'all guys just look up in the sky. Look at the sky, see if you guys see. When you guys are in circle.
Oh yeah, I'm right
I
next
see him.
to
I see him. I'm going to the one by one. I'm going to two.
Big
I'm
ass
in the
1
bush.
by
Yep.
1.
I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you, Ash. Ash, I'm with you in the bush.
Yeah, what's me in my 1 by 1?
Yeah, we're right next to you.
I'm
Oh,
building up.
alright, valid. I'm building up.
I'm on the base of the bush.
I hope that's you guys. I'm scared. I hear
That's me. I'm building up. Like I'm,
Yeah, I'm getting the brick.
I'm all the way up.
Hold on, I didn't back up.
Oh, next to me.
I'm breaking. Farming mats on the base.
Oh, that's me. Oh
Where's Tibbs?
nah. Hold the
Someone
build.
shooting us. Whoa, nice. I thought that was our teammate. What the hell?
Hell no. Hell.
Bro, I dead ass thought that was our teammate. Oh my god, that was our teammate.
Ah, bro. I'm on the base.
Something right there. Look, they're right here too. We have circles, so we're good. Look right in front of us, man, right in front of us. Guy. Oh, Jim guy. Bear, build up tight. I'm all the way height. I'm literally all the way height. God. Tell me when you're coming up.
Coming up.
I see you. Alright, yeah,
Come up
we're
here.
good. Bad it. Yeah, exactly. And if we do fall, we're gonna fall in the water, so we'll be good.
No.
We're good, Bear. We're good. Oh, shit! Stuff for him.
Oh, nah. He RPG'd us both.
Oh, I'm gonna take you, Bear. Where'd he go? I think
Dima?
we're good. He's scared.
Yeah.
We're high. We're good. Dude, you're alive?
Together. Cause like
We're
it's
gonna go to the store. We're not gonna be outside.
Still up here.
Where is
He's
he?
towards the circle. I'm building him. I'm in the woods. Watch out. Right above him.
Oh, I hear someone crawling
Yeah,
around.
he's right under me.
Nah, that's fucking thing.
I hear him.
Yeah, he's
Nah, you hear a fucking tip, bro. Tip, did you take me out with an RPG, bro?
right here. This shit.
I have hype, Bear.
Oh, I'm low on
He's
match.
on me.
No, watch you build. You could hit the water.
No.
You could hit the water. What the fuck? Oh, never mind. Ash built it. Ash built it for you. He built your death trap. Get the mats.
Wait, oh, I didn't get that.
You can still get him.
Yo, I think I took you out, bro. My fault.
Yeah, you fucking RPG'd me, Tibbs.
I killed him too.
You didn't have to. I would have killed him without your help.
I got both of the kills.
You got 2 kills though.
Your shotgun.
It's on top.
Build yourself some platform.
Yeah, walls.
Yo,
Yo, you gotta fight him. Oh no, you're good.
He's dropping now.
Get pictures. You're good. Eat it. Yeah.
Nah, he got something too, bro.
No.
Oh yeah, you won. Let's go.
Yes, you won.
Yes,
Wait,
yes,
you
you
won?
won. Yeah, you won.
Last
Yeah.
second I won.
Good fucking call out, Ralph.
Split second shit.
That was the call out of the year.
You already know.
You already know.
You already know.
Yo, I didn't even. I thought I dropped my.
Yo, Tip, stop killing me, man. I'm gonna look for you next time. Kill me again.
Yeah, the nigga that lost to me.
I'm gonna kill you, bro.
Bro, cut it out.
I had to rock it like a real nigga.
You don't have to rock in me. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't know how it hit you though. What's the thing?
Yo, try links in the boat. If boat is in the circle.
Bro, the guy who just lost me is inviting me, like, spamming me to join his party.
No way.
Yeah, that.
That should be funny. Yo, links in the boat.
OD. I'm building with steel. I'm at the boat.
Is the boat circle though?
Oh, they run. Oh, no.
Hold your circle. Hold your.
Oh, there's somebody pushing Tips. Tips, that's you, right?
Hey, I'm literally with you. Where's he?
Bro, he's right above. No. He got me. Oh,
Tips, that's me. Tips, that's me next to you. Tips, I'm next to you, bro. Tips, I'm next to you. Tips, I'm next to you. I got you. I saved you. Oh, it's you, Tips. That's us. Same team, same people. Jump in, Tips. Jump. Ready? Tell me when you jump. Go. Stay together. We can fuck them up. Reload your guns.
Who's RPGing me, man?
Edit the wall. Who the fuck? Let's not shoot each other. What the fuck? Bro, you're pickaxing me. I need help, bro. Yo, where's everybody?
I'm alive. Where are you?
The base.
Yo, Baki, you alive?
Yeah.
Where?
On the base.
All the way in the bottom? There's so many bases.
Oh, he got me. Yeah, I should not push him like that. What's in the base? Nope, that's a chick that killed me. Woo! Woo!
How'd you go through the wall? How'd you do
Yo,
that? How'd you did that? How'd you did that? How'd you did that?
nah, when your wall was building.
wall. I put a wall.
You got the ultimate WQ skills, bro. Woo! You're getting low.
Get for hacking.
That's the girl. That's the girl that I was talking about. That's the skin.
Yo, Ratu, my upper chest feels great.
Great, right?
Good. Oh, dude. I feel like, oh, dude.
It was that decline shit we did.
Should feel good.
Yeah. I was telling you we should have done like maybe like 2 more sets of like that pull-up routine we do.
Nah.
You going today?
I might.
Let's go like after 7.
I'm gonna go to the gym, man.
I'm with it.
Hey, let's go.
Rex, you got everybody. I was gonna go.
Vote?
Yo, who has the wood build next to me? Somebody with a wood build. Oh, Santa. The thing.
Yo, niggas be thinking I'm pussy and I won't pop on them like.
Do they really think that?
For no reason, bro.
Oh, it's a game.
They don't want to smoke. I'm at the boat. Oh yeah, boats in a circle, boats in a circle. Pull up. Pull up.
I don't know where the boat is.
What you mean? It's in the
You don't
circle,
know where the
bro.
boat is, Mo?
Wait, you in the brick? You in the brick?
Yeah, I'm in the brick. Facts. I hope that is building up, bro. I'm inside the boat.
I'm coming inside.
That's me, that's me. I'm with you. I'm right next to you.
Okay, we're in the
No,
boat.
why he violating?
Nah, they gotta violate us. Where are you? I'm inside the
Violate.
boat.
I'm inside the boat now.
You gotta rotate with circle though. Where are you? I'm inside.
I'm doing wood. I'm building with wood. I'm inside, right behind you. Oh yeah, on our left, on our left, on our left, on our left. Right
Need
there.
a better AR.
Oh, he's right here.
Breaking through.
Oh, he's right behind, right behind, right behind, right behind us.
Hit him. Violate, bro.
Fell in the water. Oh my god, I don't know how to get out.
I'm on the lower level in the water. Where are you guys at?
Yo, you want to get high ground? High ground? We
Yeah,
out?
yeah, yeah. High ground, high ground, high ground, high ground.
Pull up, pull up, pull up. I'm going up, I'm going up.
Yo, this water is fire, bro.
Oh, nah. Build, oh,
Yo,
yeah,
yeah,
high
build up,
ground
build up.
on
I'm coming
me.
with you, I'm coming with you, I'm coming with you. You're good, you're good. Build up. Oh, shit, shit.
Are you building with wood? I'm building with wood again.
I'm brick, but he's
Not wood, I'm brick, I'm brick.
He's build battling me. Yeah, I can't, we can't.
You fell or he fell?
He's too try hard, bro. I fell.
Oh, alright, I'm
He's
gonna
too
drop
try hard. Yeah, drop him.
I dropped all
I'm in the boat again. I'm in the boat again. Yes, Nick, I'm in the boat.
Oh yeah, I'm right next to the boat, fact.
Break inside.
We live.
I hear you. You have big shield or no?
In the boat.
I'm
in the
landing.
boat. I have minis for you. Oh, I'm right next to you.
I'm on the lowest level, bro. I'm literally on water
Inside the
level.
boat. Inside the boat. Inside the boat. There's someone above us there. I think I hear you back in the water.
Yep.
Where are you? I don't see
I'm
you.
in the water.
Come to the boat, bro. I hear you. I'm
You
being
wanna go
water.
up? I think they're fighting. I'm breaking out.
Alright, break up. Break up.
Edit me in, real quick. OD. I'm in the water, yeah.
Yo. I see you there, yeah.
I see him.
Oh, that's same team. Don't shoot at each other.
Niggas telling me don't shoot at each other after you. I boxed him. I boxed him.
That's the same team.
He's lit up. 57 shoes. It's only Yaki. Oh, you're dead, man.
Oh, gee.
Oh, yeah, Ratu might be good. Nah, I don't know. He might win because he has something else. Dance. Stick out.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, baby. That was a lot of camping. A lot of camping and very little shooting I
A
did.
lot of camping.
Bro, I was just chilling down there. I was like, alright, I'm gonna survive.
You was in
What?
the water the whole time?
Yep, if it was the World Cup, that's millions of dollars for camping.
But, good way to put it. Good.
Yeah, we always say that every time we play arenas. Alright, let's go, baby.
Boat links or sword?
Yeah, I'm at the box by the
Dip in
by the boat.
the boat.
Yeah, I'm already at the boat. The best time to rotate to the boat is literally whenever the game starts. That's when everyone's in their box.
You at the boat? I'm at the boat. Is that you building up the wood?
That's me. That's me building with wood. Can you shoot at me so I know where you are?
No, I'm not sure.
Who's with the brick? Who's brick? Who's brick?
I'm brick.
Bro, I'm with you.
I'm breaking into the
Come to the
boat.
boat, Tamid.
I'm inside.
I'm inside the boat already. Oh, that's Tamid right there.
Who won the AR? I'll give you the AR.
What side? I'll play what side.
What about the
Like, go to the circle. You follow me? You follow me?
Oh, we have to circle. Yo, pull up. Yeah, we're at
Yo,
it.
Twip, don't lose us. I let him up there. I let him up.
Shit, whoever killed him.
That's us, the same team, same team. That's us too.
Oh, right in front of this guy.
I'm rocketing him. Rock off.
Let's go together. Let's move together.
I'm all the way up now.
We just got rocketed down.
I rocketed someone down. Oh, he's building up.
Oh,
Sorry. Yo, let's fight. It's only us 3 left. Y'all hurt?
Yeah.
We fighting.
Yeah, we fighting, baby! Come get me!
You sure it's us 3 left? How do you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. 'Cause we killed everyone else. Bro. Oh, who decided it down? That was one of y'all or not?
Yeah, it was me, nigga!
Alright, yeah, it's only us left. I'm trying to get Ratul in the water. I need my health.
Oh no! Man! Was that Bear or Rob? That was Rob. Oh man. I had to pop those minis, baby.
I had no minis. You were
Who
my.
calling me? Hold on. Hello? 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 Fuck.
Where you at? Ah, I see you. Nice pyramid, bro. Nice. I'll find you that way. Let's go.
Damn. Yo, it's lit.
Yo, I missed the end of that game. What happened?
Got win.
I pickaxe there.
Nah, that's not fun.
Damn, I shot him for 101.
I made sure you did one shot, bro. I made sure. Oh, who's getting spammed right now? Who's that? Who's that spray? I want to check. Oh, they're teaming up too.
Oh, they're teaming up? Say
Yeah,
word.
bro.
Nah, we violated.
I'm in the boat. I'm in the boat.
Hell
Pull up.
no.
Right now, boat in the circle, bro. Boat in the circle.
Alright,
There's
yo,
a medal?
Yeah, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle.
wood.
No, I got the.
I'm with wood.
I'm inside the boat.
I'm trying to find the boat. Where the fuck is the boat at?
I'm inside the boat too. I'm
Look,
I'm
bro.
on the upper floor.
Middle of the
I'm
circle.
on the upper floor of the boat.
It's the middle of the circle? Okay. I'm heading that way. I'm gonna
Right
snipe
here.
from this corner. I got a pretty good angle.
I'm going to the boat right now. There's someone
Where?
sniping me.
Yo, we see you, dude.
Get someone sniping me.
He said, "Get me, get me."
I hit it.
This nigga is funny, bro.
Dead.
Yo, Jim, come, Jim, come. I see. Oh, you're opening yourself.
I hit one of the guys for like 100.
Okay. Where they at? Oh, they're on the side.
Get out of here. Yo, Jim, guy, break this with me.
You want a circle?
Is that you guys on top?
I need help. I'm in circle. That's how hard I'm.
Oh, they're dead. Teaming up. Nah, watch how I violate my son.
Jim guy killed me. Nigga, Jim guy killed me. I see you, Jim guy. I see you, 90.
That's us. There's somebody right here.
Where?
You said I get nervous when people watch it.
Somebody on top of us, bro.
Hey, just be patient.
Yo, my triceps feel good too, man.
How we out?
Jim guy's on top. You guys have to win.
Oh, he's outside the circle. He's outside the circle.
Top of me?
He's on top, dude. Where?
He's in the building. Oh no, that's us. That's me and you. He's right here.
Bill, bro, what you doing? Head out. Nice door, bro. Nice door. Yeah, that's no lie.
Oh! Yo, I'm lagging. I'm lagging. I'm lagging OG, bro. I can't edit.
You got Ratul in the water. Yo, break into the boat, bro. Now you're done.
This is the worst. What place I came in? I came in. Whatever. I came in third though.
Let's play squad.
Oh, that shit was so funny, bro.
Whatever.
Time for the squad.
Wait, how did I kill you?
We almost all got dubs that game.
Damn, how I couldn't open the window over there? I mean door. Our face.
Indoor. Stupid. We garbage.
Yo, I think we should all get the snow gun and start with like spamming people. Our face, what do you think?
Ready up, bear.
Yo. Right.
Endure?
Let's all get the snow gun and start spamming people with it. I don't know how you get that shit. Better end up dirty dog.
I'm about to change my skin. I'm too big and ugly, bro. Oh, it's too late.
Dang, how you guys have the white one? The white was Gold Trooper.
We had it the last time it came out. That's why.
Oh.
And if we had it originally, we would have the purple one.
Oh.
And plus, you bought a different Skull Trooper, bro. Your thing is not even part of the class. It's like I don't know what the name of your one is.
Yeah, his one is fire.
Yeah, it's fire, but I don't know what it's called. Is it a Skull Trooper or it has a different name?
Mule Trooper.
Mule Trooper. Yeah. His thing is pretty cool. Is it 20 cash or 15? Okay. Slay out, slay out, slay out, baby. Let's go to Lazy Lake.
Bro, we literally just played. We just played Zone War. We should be cooking niggas right now.
Yeah, word. I'm warm, bro. I'm ready to fight.
Oh, we warmed up right now.
I'm ready to fight, baby. Let my spot. Everybody knows my spot. That's the spot.
Yeah, Tamid, go with Rotun, Bear Club.
Where you landing?
Rafi's gonna land on the other side of the shop. Let's find it. No, we should land together.
The entire lobby. Yo, it's lit. I can make these like jokes. My controller's not tweaking. Usually my left
days it be
analog
like
stick. Yeah, usually my left analog stick doesn't like cooperate, bro.
I think I'm dead. This guy already. Yo, don't go down. Don't go down. Someone already got the light.
No way. Someone got the light.
Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck, bro? Bro, this guy's being a dick, bro. He's literally following me around.
I'm getting.
I'm dead. Y'all sound like y'all
Please
getting
leave the
bullied.
house.
Oh my god. Bro, this is ridiculous, bro. Help, help, help. I got an asshole after me, bro.
I lit him up. I lit him up.
People right here.
Oh, you're teammate though. And I lit up the guy with the lightsaber.
Yeah, I see you, bro. I see you. I see you doing it, but
Use the lightsaber, yo. It's lit. I'ma cook him.
I'm dead. Nigga.
I'ma cook him. He does not know how to use the lightsaber.
right, we gotta get him on two sides, two different angles.
Oh, no, don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. He's gonna shoot back. Lightsaber, he's blocking.
I'm gonna go behind him.
Got explosives?
Where's
I
he
got
at? Where's
grenades.
he
Yeah,
at?
go behind him. Go behind him. He's right here.
I'm about to buy him.
Oh, he's trying to push me. He's trying to push me.
No, 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 wait, bring him, bring him.
Mark him. I'm about to throw a sniper on him.
Yo, he doesn't know how to use the lightsaber. He's not shooting.
Where is he at? Mark him.
He's over us. He's on top of us.
Alright, I'm about to buy him. Let him come down. Let's do this.
Got in there.
Oh, he's trying to open the chest right here.
Right there, right there, right there.
Yo, what the fuck? How I landed on the fucking bombs?
Bro, how did y'all all just die?
Bro, we all landed on the fucking grenades. Everybody landed on the grenades. Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is the best place for you. They're coming, though. He
Oh,
here.
she's coming up. She's coming up
He
here.
here.
Right there.
Getting down.
Saber is right
She's gonna body me right now. Yep.
They don't know how to use the lightsaber.
Well, they know how to catch you from the back like that.
That was a whole different team.
That's a soccer skin like this.
A different team were in. They were low though.
I'm a feel like a man.
Oh,
We were
you know
playing though.
what?
Feel about it.
We got the same. As soon as we landed, we got chased by a lightsaber. Literally, they was chasing me.
There, right there. Why do they always say Bear's not ready up and then they're ready up? That's not weird.
Nah, yeah, I'm always ready. It just I don't know why it doesn't show you guys that I'm ready.
Look at your Xbox.
Fat face. Fat face. Good. Fat face.
Endurance.
Bro, we just got chased by a lightsaber. It's not even funny.
Huh?
It's not even funny. They chased us with a lightsaber.
Nigga, he couldn't kill you. That was the funny part.
Bro,
Yeah,
bro,
that
I
sounds
had
like I
no
was
gun.
getting bullied.
Bro, me and Ratoon got chased, bro. We got-
What are you talking about?
They chased us out.
Again, fuck it, each other again, fuck it.
Bro, they chased us out. It's not even funny.
You mean the fucking grenades?
No, the lightsaber, bro.
Bro, me and Ash are about to outsmart him, bro. We're just about ready.
I lit him up, bro.
Yeah, all we had to do was one person shoots him from the back. He can't block from the back. That's the key.
Getting there.
Really? You go down from one way? I thought it.
Yeah, you
Thought it
can
blocked that.
like 180, like 180 on one side. 180
Oh my
on the
god, there's a llama right here.
other. Oh, he's getting the llama. He's getting the
Oh
llama.
my god. I need help, I need help, I need help, I need help.
I don't have a gun yet. I don't have a gun yet.
No, man.
No, another person inside here.
Fuck. I literally. Oh my god. I couldn't.
That was a bad
I
grab.
couldn't.
Coming.
grab the fucking match in the llama, bro. Fuck. Fucked up hard body.
I'm tired. How we die?
Fucking llama got me.
I didn't realize there was a llama there. That was a hot drop. Everyone landed before me.
Man, we would have been lit. Had the llama and all that.
I'm opening the chest and somebody just shoot me in the dome. It was clipped.
He's a big show. Who's doing?
Bro.
Oh yeah, I told you. Shut up. What's that?
Please
Yo,
get
use
our
that.
cards.
Go right there.
Here's shotgun, bro. Here's shotgun.
Damn, it's two of them.
It's all good.
Where was Tibbs? Tibbs, you gotta kill somebody else?
Boy, that's our fault. Yeah, we landed late, fake.
Yeah, you can't land here late, bro. We have to jump as soon as possible.
To jump right away.
Yeah, that's like oh yeah, 100%. That's why we didn't get the position we wanted. Yo, let's go to Lazy Lake, bro. If you guys want to have a game like this, Lazy Lake is the best place.
Yeah, I gotta realize Tryhard is online right now.
Yeah, we try hard, bro. We online.
Yeah, we online, bro. What you mean?
You
Don't
big
make it fun of
tryhard,
us.
shit.
Hold up. Let me change the skin up. Does everybody have Gold Trooper?
Yeah, I have it.
That shit on, bro.
Y'all readied up or not?
Yes, fat face, yes.
They're waiting for us. Yo, that Deadeye skin is kind of fire.
Bro,
In the store?
bro, bad thing about landing with the lobby is like if you don't get the gun first, then you're basically fucked.
Yo, I got the gun. I just got double teamed.
All I got is a pistol, bro.
Got the gun. I had a pistol. The pistol is OP, by the way. Pretty
Yeah,
OP,
How
guys.
do niggas be getting ocked in jail if there's no good food in jail?
Bro, what are you talking about? They got GMO, bro.
What do you mean GMO?
As in, like, they got like the subsidized food, like corn, like the things that like like these big agriculture companies that they bid for these subsidies. So like, they get like pretty decent, like, you know those southern food that all the big like D1 players have. Like, they basically get the same
Yeah.
shit, bro. People like going to jail, especially if you're homeless. Like, jail's a good option. Bro, would you rather be outside looking like an idiot, or would you rather be inside warm and toasty?
Oh yeah, retail drop again.
Again, dub, bro, dub.
Nah, Lazy Lake.
Wow, that was a wow, y'all jumped mad.
You gonna get there first.
Shut your mouth, face.
You wanna bet 100 push-ups?
Let's see it, baby. I'll give you 100. Ah, the hate drop, the hate drop. Bro, I'm already here.
Bro, I'm much lower than you, bro. Looking like you about to give
Oh
me
yeah,
100
there's people
push-ups.
lower than
Ah, no.
Bro, look at my character, bro.
Bro, look at me. I just gotta land on the top. Nah, you landing in the highest building, asshole.
I already landed,
Nah. All right. You got it, boss.
What is this shit,
Bro, get out of here, Tib. This is my spot. How you on my spot like that, bro?
What do you mean?
This is my spot. I own this.
Take a spot.
The AR, bear.
No, there's someone right there.
Nah, I forgot it's not I feel like you're about to kill me for some reason.
Someone got knocked. Oh no! No, I had no match.
It's okay. We're gonna get your card. Don't worry.
So, I'm like card Resney, man.
Oh god, this nigga's one shot. One shot!
Lord,
Damn again. Need high pressure situations. I'm coming.
Listen, let's go push the hill.
I am. I'm walking already. I'm already on foot. The first floor, second floor. Tell me.
Outside the house. Play smart.
I see them, I see them.
I'm gonna pick up Bear. I'm gonna pick up.
I only have SMG, fuck
Try to
sake.
get my card, bear. I mean, not bear.
You see me.
Oh, she tried to come here to Greece.
Yeah, you got the snowman. Vale. Hit it. Someone over here. I have no map. This is
I
bad.
know, bro. Fight.
Damn, I got 2 down, but I need help. He's one shot too.
Why you not aiming when you're shooting? What are you?
Who, me?
No, not you.
Oh, I was like, bro. I just didn't have bills, otherwise I would have taken 2 out.
Bro, what the fuck, bro? There's a guy over there. I'm not going there. There's a whole team there.
Bro, they're knocked. There's only 1 left. Oh, man. Man, we're dead. Oh, you're here, bro.
Oh, my card. 15 seconds. Just fight.
Bro, it's over. They know y'all here. And the Marauder just woke up.
Right there. Hi, Nugget Biz.
Behind you.
Yep.
Behind you, bro.
He just
hear
hit me
it.
with a snow shit.
Nah, we're gonna do low key out and then get the dub.
Yeah, I need a dub before I leave. I gotta leave soon.
Yeah, I gotta realize, try hard in the lobby right now. So.
I got to go to Costco. It is Friday prime time, though. Everybody playing today.
It is, for sure.
And I think we need to land together so we don't have to worry about this situation. Because this location's pretty fucking big.
Nah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Last 2 games you had bad landing.
Who, us?
Yeah.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. Even if we have bad landing, if we're
There's like 20
close.
people that landed before me in the.
Yeah, if we're close, I feel like we can back each other up. But since we're not, that shit really like blows. Yo, Ash, I was gonna tell you, you make those Instagram posts by your on your own, like they're customs.
Which ones?
Like the one I saw yesterday, and I was like, that's not clever.
Oh no, that's one I shared. That's the guy that I follow that I always share.
Oh, okay.
Like, he does it mad creatively.
That shit was mad creative, bro. I was like, bro, this is actually really clever.
Like I have 4 like key pieces of content that I always like.
Nah, that shit is valid, bro.
Signals, like the pip count,
Yo, land here, land here.
psychology, and that shit. That guy. Like chart, like I like chart insight.
Oh, not
What
this
we
side.
landing?
This place is OP nice, bro.
I got brick shit.
That's my spot right there. That's mine. The purple's mine.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, how the fuck you lower than me, Rafi? And why you, yo, and he's still landing on my spot.
Bro, there's like no spots. There's only 3 spots here. And there's someone who has level up.
That's what do you think I land over there?
Damn, we're gonna be sharing right now?
Someone got a double up.
Not gonna get shit. Alright. Bye.
I think I'm hot.
A pump.
I don't know where Jim guy went. He on his own shit right now.
Bro, it's nothing there in the island, bro. I hate the island.
That is definitely not correct.
I swear it's nothing there. There's no land here, so that's what I
Ooh, I want one. I want one. That's the most OP gun in the game. I want one. Yeah, I want the red one. Oh, actually, the green one now. I want the green one because I got green skin on.
Let me get the red one, please. I have the red skin. Don't be affected. Bro, I already got mad ammo and shit. Holy shit. There's a lightsaber here too. I see you.
I hate fishing, man. Take dumb long.
I like the harpoon.
You guys in the circle or not?
I love landing here, bro. No contest. Get to get mats and then go fight.
Coming to you guys.
Like 10 chests here. I love this.
Yeah, where you're at is mat chest. Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of chests on that. I think that one has the most chests, but the metal one has like a couple of fishing spots, so it's kind of good.
Oh yeah.
What can I get the lightsaber?
Bro, I want the lightsaber too.
Somewhere where we landed, roughly.
Lord King.
I'm ready for you guys.
Hey, we're trying to find these lightsabers.
That's not effective, set.
Where's my little son? Oh yeah, look what I got. Pull up, shake.
Oh, it's like 50 chests here.
Fine bear?
No, why are you here, bro? I was gonna open
I
that.
don't have a shotgun, so I really need
There's a shotgun over here. Shotgun's not the issue. There's a shotgun right
a
there.
lightsaber.
Red Face,
I'm looking for the lightsaber though. There's a shotgun right here, bro.
Yo, that's not cheap, bro.
That's my chest, bro. Watch out. You stole my chest.
Shut up, idiot.
Okay.
Yo, where the fuck, Rafi? Can you give us a location on the lightsaber? We're just running around.
Was it like on the second level or the main floor?
It's like right here, I think. Should be right here. Should be somewhere around there. It's like an outside step, brother. That's the house.
Oh.
Found it or no?
Still looking. Nah, cause that shit is really gonna help us in the game, bro. We got block shots.
There's a lightsaber in the mountain, by the way.
Yeah, we're not going to the mountain for that. Yo, thanks for the follow. 10% tattooing. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah. Find it? Yeah, let's go. Good shit, bro. Shit, better find the Luke skylight. Yo, I got something for you, Bear. Here, take this. Wait, you took it?
Oh, fire. Good luck, bro.
Okay, let's get out of here now. And we got a harvesting tool now.
Are you guys coming?
Oh, we coming now.
I got 4 flappers.
Bro,
Yo, I got a,
three left.
what do you call it, blue AR for you. If you want that tool.
Yeah, give it to him. I'm more of a FAMAS guy. I'm more of a burst guy.
I'm gonna just drop 1 minute.
Woo!
Why you like burst
I
weapon?
got supply drop.
Get more shots in, bro. What you mean? First of all, we get ADS, so if you get 1 headshot, the other 2 is gonna be body shots. That's basically most of like that shield's gone.
Yo, Jimmy, I'm coming.
Nah, don't come here, bro.
Yo, how do you roll, Bear? Roll backwards.
X.
Oh, you
X.
gotta defend and then,
Jump.
Yeah,
L2 and X, yeah.
yeah, L2
Stay in L2.
nah, I know the
Who's shooting? Who's shooting?
I don't even know where A, B,
Oh.
and X, Y is on the Xbox shit.
X and A are the same thing, I believe.
I'm taking
And-
the snow launcher.
And square and X for the Xbox is the same.
There's a pig pod here, bro.
I dropped the big pot.
Yo, circle, boys.
Yo, take this zip line right here.
Yo, stop, bro. I'm gonna drop me. What are you doing?
Yo, take this
Yo,
zip
can you
line
carry
right
this? Can't carry the banding gun?
I have 4 flappers.
Oh yeah, we got one-way ticket to circle right here.
here. Okay, and you can just jump on this.
Oh yeah, who, nobody messing with me right now. Hey,
Stop shooting me, bro. Nice miss.
yo, stop hating.
Oh, yeah.
Ah! Yo, what the fuck?
Ah, it's over.
Find me. Sneaky.
Let's pull out the sword. Ready? Pull it out.
Oh my god, do it again.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Bang, bro.
Oh, I see people right in front of me,
Uh,
Oh, they all got lightsabers.
nah, stay up. Get on the high ground. If they got lightsabers, high ground.
Please, let me get a snow gun. Please, let me
You wanna use it? You're gonna have to violate him here.
They don't know I'm here yet.
get the rocket up. Oh my god, nigga got a gold one. Rocket.
Yo, can I shoot at them?
Well, you gotta kill all the team, bro. Let them. Wait, don't show them that. Don't show them the gun.
Woo, 105 off.
Oh, they're using
Let's go.
Nah, don't push them, guys. Come on, this is stupid.
My god,
We're
he's
not
sniping.
pushing nothing.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got super high ground. I'm up here.
You don't got minis?
Yeah, I got mini. Here, you get the big shield from Ahmed.
Come here, right here. I'll drop the big shield right here.
Yo, Tamid, can I get the...
I dropped the big shield right there.
Where's right there? Mark it.
Watch out, they're trying to snipe. Oh, 2 team, yo, nobody push shit. We can't push shit right now.
We're in the circle, so we're chilling.
Yeah, we're big.
Yeah, we can shoot them from the back, bro.
Yo, good shit. Good. Yo, we're good right now. We're golden. I'm getting mad shots off. This is your chance to get mad sniped. Oh my god, they're all one shot.
Bro.
They're all one shot. Wallahi, they're all one shot.
Who's that guy here? He's over there.
Can we go push it now?
Nah,
We have to push this side first. There's somebody here first. We have to push this side first.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, keep spraying.
Yo, they're all sitting up in here.
I know.
Go over this bridge.
Yo, the other team is coming. Push them. He's right here. Ooh, 105, Rafi. Blue skin right here in the box. He's in the box right here.
Push harder.
Oh, Iloha's there already?
There's somebody here too.
I killed the one with the lightsaber.
I'm with you, bro. I'm coming. Be there in 10 seconds. I'm gonna throw grenades.
He's down here. He's in the box right here.
Those are my grenades.
Bro, we have to leave, bro. We have to leave soon. We have to make this quick.
Oh, people on me. Oh,
Let's push him.
I got him.
There's somebody in Rafi. Oh, my bad. You want it?
I killed myself. Fuck, I killed myself. Y'all keep pushing the circle. They're low though. Just so you know behind you. They're low. Yeah, he's low. Beautiful.
Oh my god.
Break that shit, Rasul. Break that shot.
Not letting me do that, bro.
Yo, y'all gotta fight. I gotta take this up, man.
Yo, oh yeah, Rafa, tip.
Fuck down.
Don't stop.
Don't stop, Jim guy. Don't stop. I mean, don't stop, Bear. Go to the right, Evelyn.
Bro,
You got his car?
how much?
Yeah, I got his card already. I've been got his card. I got his card. Let's move.
Yeah, I want to pick up the snow gun, bro. Fuck's sake. Fuck.
Don't reload. Don't do anything. It's gonna slow you down.
No gun.
Don't do nothing. Just keep going in a circle.
Taking the water.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I got a
stupid.
flapper for you. I'll drop it for you.
Nah, don't drop it.
Yeah, you're good, Bear. Oh, break that surf truck. Fuck, you saying dead. Low key, you should hit them. I don't know.
I got people on me.
Damn, it was
Thank
separated.
God.
Bro.
I shot that question.
Fuck it, I got it.
You got people on you, too.
Yeah, he's in the igloo. He's in the igloo.
R2, go to circle. Rotate the circle. Rotate.
Oh, I am.
My son blocking his way. Reload all your shit there.
Oh, I got somebody in front of me. Right over here.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
You gotta
that.
play smart. You gotta play smart.
Yeah, I see him. I see him over there. And up there. And up there. Yeah. Wow.
Nigga just using his
no.
lightsaber. Block.
Reference, you
Yeah,
ready?
we gotta let them fight first. I got a thing for you guys.
I should rotate the circle. I'm there right now.
Oh, big shield is here. Hopefully minis. Oh!
Think about it.
Oh, this 5 bar is literally useless, bro. Holy shit. Oh my god, it's so good. They in the mountain, bro. They have the high ground. I'm gonna follow you, Ruton.
Yeah, I'm already up here,
Oh,
bro.
we can't even res Rafi.
Nope, we gotta fight.
Yo, reference, I must have sniping there. How come
No sniping. High ground first. So let's go. Come with me.
I'm rotating the circle.
Yep, I'm rotating to the circle and going towards them. Come on, boys.
Don't shoot them till they run.
I was gonna go to the back. Oh
Yeah,
my
go to the
god.
back.
Bro, I was just literally here, bro. What the hell?
Oh, D Ratu, they're gonna see you, bro. I don't even know what's them guys.
I'm behind you.
Oh, I don't even know about the mats.
I'll give you some. Okay, what do you need? Come here. I'll give you some wood. Yeah, come here. I'll drop you some wood. Nah, that's give me my favorite. Yeah, I dropped you.
Good looks. We out.
Let's block this nigga.
One
Oh,
down.
nah.
Come up this way.
Oh yeah, Ratu got one.
You with me, Tip? You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just blocking the. Oh,
Yeah, perfect. Start spraying them from far. You're good. You're perfect. Now that's on.
Yo, where's everybody? Where's the team?
oh, nah. You're fucking.
One high ground, man.
Oh. It's over.
Snowgun is so stupid, bro.
2v2, y'all got this.
Save your ammo, save your last ammo.
For actual hit. We need those rockets type shit.
Yo, go where I died. There's a rocket there for you, bro.
To your right, Barry? Yeah, to your right. He's right there in that brick. You have 1 rocket ammo left. Make that shit count. Right there, he's on the bottom of the floor. Right now, the perfect
He's outside. I see him.
Wait till they pull out the sword.
Fuck, I got one down. He's at one more left. He's down here. One more. I got one down already. It's a 1v1 fight. It's over, baby. You got this. Fight him one-on-one. Use the lightsaber. Use the force, Bear. Use the force. He's in the base. He didn't build up yet.
Cannot kill you. And we have max match. There's no way you're dead.
Yeah, you can't die, bro. Overuse, bro. Overuse your mats.
Oh,
Spam use. Especially the wood. Yep. Let's go. Block it off. Block them off. Oh,
one good hit with that rocket.
did he get his boy up? I think he did.
Nah, he didn't. Oh, he did.
He did, bro. He stuck a fucking thing. Because it's not 2 anymore. It's not 1v1. They're gonna wait, bro. They're whack.
Behind you. Top of you now?
Hey, what's up, man? I can't, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. I gotta go out with my girl soon. I can't help you, bro. I'm sorry.
With a snow gun, bro. So dumb. Gotta get up now, man.
If you rocketed, he would have been dead. Rocket the room! Here's shotgun, we got a purple pump. He's gonna hit hard. Start water falling down. You're gonna have to hit your metro within the circle. Yo, you're running low on mats. Stop playing.
You're in the circle, hit the mat.
My son Ash is gonna win, bro. They're fucking thirsty. Yep, just take that. Yep. They're under you. It's over, bro.
You're good.
You're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit it, bro. You gotta edit down. You gotta edit down. Oh! Yo, they're trash, bro.
I thought I was gonna hit it.
TTV what? TTV wag, bro. Trash. Yo, guys, check this out, bro. Like, the guy that just recently followed me, bro, he asking me to play in the Winter Royale with him.
Oh,
I had to decline. I gotta go somewhere. I feel bad. Plus, I don't even think I qualify. Yo, we're gonna win the next one, boys.
Same landing, same
Yeah,
no
if we had Rafi, bro, it would have been over.
Bro, I know I should have picked up the
And
score.
Bear, I fucked up, bro. I should have said something when I was shooting the guy, so he could have dropped down with me.
I know
I played like it was arena mode. I made mistakes too. But that was some fire ass endgame though. He really made that. He really made that last.
Nah, I'm tired. Bro, I thought that Medikit was perfect. Bro, if I knew the Medikit I wouldn't hit, I would have just started dropping and shit. But I thought it was like perfectly.
Yeah, you could have just dropped down and just scar sprayed on your way down.
You got a snow gun and scar spray. Say sad.
Bro, bro, he had 50 health. I could have violated him. They had no heals.
No, they both had no heals, bro. You just had to like outsmart them.
Same landing?
You got a little lazy again? No, what did we land at last game?
Oh no, the whole lobby here.
All right, stop saying that all the time. Ain't the whole lobby.
Look at them, bro. Oh nah.
I don't know. I don't see him. I gotta play the land.
Get that gun. Get that gun.
I can't even. I'm too low for that.
Oh, geez.
Oh my god. Didn't even get a gun.
I need help. I got a whole team on me.
Yep. They thirsty, bro. Damn, they doing the rapey on you. They took you to the barn, bro.
Well, I have his sniper. I don't know what to do.
They turned you into a man, bro. That's what they did. Snipe him. Oh,
I don't know. Let him come. Oh, nah, he built.
take your time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Gives of the Naki. No scope. Oh, he hit him! He hit him! He hit him with a no scope!
Oh, he dead hit him.
He had shield, bro. Yo, Tibbs with the snipey. That was type nice. That was a nice snipe, bro. No regrets. One more, guys. Come on. Before I leave.
I got two in Greece. Oh, he's getting res. Wow. Now they're gonna push.
Oh, nah. Where did that one from?
That's when Jake picked up his fire.
I forgot it's Friday. So you know, I don't know.
Damn, bro.
Slurpee again? Now let's land here. We're gonna win the game right here. Let's land right there. That's our winning spot.
Can we land one time in 30, dog?
Oh, you got a mission?
Cause everybody could go to snow gun there, bro. Literally.
What do you mean snow gun?
Oh yeah,
You know
he's
that-
right. You can.
Oh, cause of the ice machines?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so dumb, bro. Go just spray that and break everybody's build and kill them, bro.
Let's go, we out.
The dirty docks.
Yeah.
What a peaceful song before we dive to our death.
That
Our last song.
Yeah, this is the house, right there. This is the house I'm on. Everybody, I think everybody should go to double up with you.
That's the battle song, what was
What'd you say, brother?
the battle song.
Bro, 88 player. How many people just left?
Maybe Tifu's in our lobby.
Everybody land there. Everybody go land there.
You ever feel like you ever got into a lobby with a streamer?
I told you I've been.
Definitely.
I've been in the lobby of Ghost Assault where he took out our whole team in Salty. He had like 25 bodies that
There
game.
used to be people playing solo squads in the lobby, and they'll be dumb elite.
I mean, look for a gun for everybody right there.
I already hear the lightsaber.
We're alone.
I already got one.
Should get more. I'm opening this thing. Try to get 4 so everybody should have one.
Me and Bear already got one.
Okay, I just got one. Luton, I'm gonna get you.
Okay, no big deal. I'm just happy to be alive.
I got slurfish.
Name the slurper for that. Name the slurper.
Yeah. Okay, I was looking for me. Give me a pistol, are you serious?
Why do you hate that gun so much, bro? That's why it always comes to you. It's a pretty decent gun.
If you know how to use it.
Yeah, I think it's a really good gun. Super
Oh,
accurate, and it gets more shots off than an SMG if you could know how to press buttons fast enough.
Gold one is OP, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like it. see a llama. I see a llama. He's in that mountain on our way.
No, I don't.
Yo, you wanna get the llama now or when we go up there? Then you want me to mark it? I'll just mark
I want a lightsaber. What's a lightsaber? No, this one.
Damn, I'm in the sewer treatment plant. I could tell.
What do you find the lightsaber from?
Yo, let's go. We gotta go. Circle the sun. 19.
Rafi, I'm gonna get on the boat with you. Where you at?
You want me to get the llama?
I got it.
There's a rocket right here. There's a rocket right here.
Okay, right here.
Rocket ammo.
Meet us right here.
Hold on, Mr. Boat Flex.
Get on the boat.
I'll get them. Let's go for this.
Oh no.
Oh nah, don't throw me over there, bro.
Are we good? Oh, we about to do something crazy right now.
Oh yeah, we
Here we
know
go.
about that. Get ready, boys. Get ready.
Here we go. Here we go. Trick shot.
Here we go, we know that.
Trick shot. All right, not what I expected. Okay. All right, let's run it. Let's run the rest. Let's run the rest of the way.
Great drive. Great drive.
Go right here. Go right here. Follow the lake. That's where Frenzy's gonna come.
I see me. I know someone was there. Oh, people in front of us. People in front of us.
Yo,
in the
get on,
boat.
get on, get on. People in front of us.
I'm about to follow the snow gun. Let's go. Let's go.
Nah, don't fight yet. Don't fight yet. Like, let the circle settle first. We're gonna get clapped. Be careful. Cause it's a one-tick storm.
Get ready to fight, guys.
Everybody get a snow gun. Let's go. Let's go. Get ready.
Oh, they're in.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Oh, shit, he's right here. On me?
Oh, he's with Iloha right here. On the
Yeah, on
bottom.
So what do you? He took 33 off him. He's on this box.
Got him. Yo, I got trouble from someone.
Yeah, I gotta take
Someone
50.
violated and sent me.
Wait,
Bro, look at my shit. Look at my health. Somebody violated me, bro.
Where are you? With the open, I'll give you.
Yeah.
Open, I'll give you. Come, open. Close it, close it.
Don't worry. Y'all heal up.
Take
I
the
just need
slurpee.
minis. Thank you.
I have minutes here.
Oh, it's too late now. It's okay. Let's get to work. Anybody got medium ammo?
AR? Oh, yeah. Only AR, right?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Where you at, Tibbs? On the floor? I'm coming. Thank you, Tibbs. You're the man.
Hold that medikit.
Yeah, we gotta leave. The circle's deep. We gotta leave.
Medkits.
I'll carry that medkit. I'll carry it.
Somebody on me. Somebody's on me.
Coming. I cracked the shit. I killed him.
See that, bro? That gun is so dumb, right?
I have a scar for someone.
Let me take it.
Bro, there's someone on me.
Yeah. Don't worry. Go. Build. Jim guys, build.
Right here.
Yeah, he's on us. Watch out!
I need some mats from him.
Yeah, I'm running.
Bear, come here. Let's go.
Arthur, take his big shot. Take a big shot.
Take the floppers. Kita sama?
Running.
Tay, bro, can you call her? Because I'm on this. I don't know where she is.
Oh, yeah. Out of here.
Damn, I should have got my ball.
There's a ball right there.
Oh, there's a ball right here. Thank you.
Yo, bro, that snow,
Fight, guys. Good fucking shit.
snow gun is retarded, bro. So I hit that guy, broke his build, and right face just killed him. Get on.
Get on.
Why are we going backwards? What the fuck? Oh, I was driving it. I was trying to pop the med kit. Wow. I didn't know, bro.
Oh yeah, I need a flexor right now.
More. Let's go. We're out of the circle. Let's go, baby. Let's go. No. The other way.
Bad driver. I gotta make it for team.
Get off.
Yeah, there's no point in using
Using
it anymore.
medikit too.
I only got one, bro.
Let me get the mech. I'll give you a flopper, bear.
Yeah, I dropped the mecha right there.
Wait, give me the flopper, bear. I'll give you the med kit.
Why you dropped it?
I hold that. I got it.
Oh, there's stuff for us right there in Slurpee. Somebody left some shit for us over there in that big fight.
We need to heal up. Hold up, relax.
Bear, take the floppers right there. How many floppers do I want? Damn, I should have got those 4 floppers, bro. Fuck.
Wait, let me get one of the floppers. I got a med kit for somebody instead. I'll give you a med kit, give me a flopper.
I'll
Oh
give you
yeah,
a mini
take the
here.
flopper out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give me the flopper. Take the med kit.
Who won the mini? Take the mini.
There you go.
Take the mini.
You don't got excess rocket ammo?
Yo, I need a medium ammo. Medium bullets.
Oh, I don't have.
Bear, you got any?
Nah. I'm going like,
Okay, bro. My bad, I trapped you in there. Thank you. Don't be grabbing that, ladies. Yo, Rafi, you're the man, bro. That's a lot
There's a
of
fight in
fucking...
front of us, bro. You see that fight, Bear?
Yeah, I see it. But we need to go to this build first.
Yeah, there's people right there.
We need to stop by here and then shoot.
Let's go here left full then before we fight.
Oh, you wanna run to the thing? The Slurpee?
Yeah, I should
swamp?
do that. Yeah, I should definitely
I
do
think
that.
there's.
Oh, there's mad shit here. There's mad shit here.
right there. Oh,
Yeah, there's a
that's
purple spaz here for somebody. Purple spaz. Oh, lightsaber! Lightsabers!
I need.
Let a bear take. I'll take the grenade.
Yeah, take the grenade. I marked it for you already. It's behind me.
Right there.
flipped, bro.
Oh no! no, break their build. They're about to fall down.
Oh, there's nobody up there.
Oh, I got the red lightsaber. It's over. It's over. Nah. We live.
Yo, Jim guy, stand right here. Stand right there. Jim guy, stand right there. Stand right here. Stand right here.
Oh, they just did a resi. It's okay.
Oh, you mean bear to stand right there?
Oh, there's
I
snipers
don't
on
like
the
it.
left, southeast, east.
Yo, you guys should go with Bear.
I got health, bro.
Oh, they're right there. They're all healing up.
I'm swimming right now.
I'm gonna get full health as well. Fuck this shit.
Oh, he's trying to snipe right there.
He is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, one of them is white. One of them is white. One of them is white.
Are we pushing them? This is the last two teams. Let's go. Y'all ready?
I cracked one of them, Bear. I cracked one of them, Bear.
Oh, yeah, that's pushing us. Good side.
No, they're trying to shoot us, bro.
I hit him 48, Bear. Cracked his shield. Cracked his shield again, 50 at the top. Yo, win this supply job.
Yo, we're separated? Who's with me? Tibbs is with me? Okay. Tibbs, you ready? Oh, you guys still gotta go. Alright. I'm gonna stay with you, Tibbs. You got some builds for me?
Mats? I have no mats, but I just ran out of mats.
Bear. Take one.
Yo. It's a 6 people team. 6 people left. Y'all ready? And Bear, you should be pulling up over here, bro.
I'm holding.
I'll hold up minutes for you if you want.
Yo, push that up. This is our time. Right.
Bro. We need help.
I have no mats. I hit one of them before we found.
What the fuck, man?
How'd you die, bro?
Fall damage. They dropped my build down. I didn't know this was on top. This is a lower peak.
I have no mats.
Oh, he's right on.
Take the pin.
I can't use it. I can't use the mini. Take it back.
Come with you, Rafi. I'm right next to you.
Yeah, I'm coming up with a lightsaber.
Where you at?
He's right here. There's somebody on me.
I killed one of them already. Where are you, Michael?
I'm right here. Oh, he's behind me. He's on me. He's right here. He's on me. Ah! Okay, solo. Okay, let's go. We gotta go, guys.
Try to get a res off. We can't try to get a res off.
Yo, I knocked his teammate. He's
Try to get a res off.
resing.
He's resing. Come up, Bear.
He's
Come up to me. Or
He's
Ratu,
resing his teammate.
whoever. Push me right after. I'm on the roof. I'm definitely safe. Come up
Oh,
to
he's
the roof
resing.
right after. He's
He
gonna
just
go
resed his teammate. He just resed his teammate. Bro, I knocked his teammate, then he started resing his teammate. Fucks, bro.
So tight, bro. I'm so tight.
He's so lightsaber, is so
Like
dumb.
shit.
Nigga, that's your favorite gun. Shut your ass.
Bro, I killed him, but then how do you kill me still? I don't even know. Cause you know how you slam with the lightsaber, right? The damage hits you before, like after, as soon as you die. Keep getting so close.
Oh, I.
Okay, he's probably at QCM. Alright, we gotta get this one. Bro, that game was intense. What happened in the end? He beat us with the lightsabers?
Yep.
Fucking bitch. I was blocking.
He's so dumb, bro. But I knocked him down and he still hit me with lightsaber somehow. I don't even know how. Same place or not?
Yo, get a leak drop. I'm gonna take a leak.
Alright. We doing steamy.
Come on, man. That was so close.
Feel like a man.
Now we played like really good games recently.
Nigga, we played great games.
Yeah, and we're slaying out.
Go to Pleasant. Go to Pleasant. Go to Pleasant.
Nah.
Bears peeing, bro. He's not gonna make the land.
Here. Where's here?
Bear, you here? Nah, he's not here, bro.
There. Right there.
Not here, bro.
Bro, just go steam me, bro. I mean, go to your best.
We all gonna die otherwise. I'm gonna take the control spot. I'm gonna take the Tifu spot.
The tower?
Yeah, you know the Tifu spot.
He loved that tower because he could just shoot people.
Yup, he gets that first kill to start the game. And he always gets it.
Yo, he got a great aim, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, word. Cause he's on a mouse.
Anybody here?
Oh, I got lightsabers up here. Lightsaber.
Oh,
Lightsabers
nah,
up here.
see.
Lightsaber. Drop me one right there.
Drop one. We all here.
No, I'm gonna take him with me. It's okay.
Don't break him down.
Oh my god.
I'm
You
sorry.
took all damage.
Yeah, 3 lightsabers.
Oh my
It's okay.
Right there,
Of
right
course.
there. Oh, circle is right there too. It's not even that far. He's up there. I'm out here. He's come on.
I have him right here.
Did you carry a shotgun?
I do. Damn, I got a present? Let's open it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm done. Who me. Right there, Mark. I marked it right there.
No. It's over, bro. We got the lightsaber.
So please, whoever can
I don't even open doors anymore. I just lightsaber through the doors. I don't open doors. I swear, bro.
somebody who got rocket at me? I'll give you half of my mini as well.
You know how to block the thing, right? The lightsabers? The pickaxe? Yeah, y'all saw that on BCC? You can block the lightsaber with your pickaxe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something that's available in the game. That has. You can basically counteract it with your lightsaber. With your thing, pickaxe. Oh, somebody just shot at us.
People here, Ashley?
No, that's the alien.
Oh, those are the Star Wars dudes.
Oh, I need to kill this guy. It's one of my city challenge.
Blocking damage real quick. I need help.
Seriously fighting.
Yo, there's a blue tech here.
Nice. Nice job, boys.
Maybe somebody scared.
I'm about to carry one of the blasters.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Shit is black.
Limit.
Yo, we out. Or should we? Oh, let's go take the thing. Let's go back to the storm. Let's go back to the nuclear reactor.
It's not gonna get us further than that.
Okay, let's just walk then.
Oh yeah, where you guys at? Where you guys at? There's a sniper truck right there. Yo, right there, right there.
Yo, don't shoot at the trees, please.
Right there, right there. Come here, come here.
Break that shit without it.
Yeah, yeah, don't worry. Nice, got it.
There's a blue pump here if anyone wants.
Where's the cyber truck?
Right here, right here. Just come to me. This is how you fight people. Are you ready? No, don't break it. Don't break it. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Bear. We gotta wait for bear.
Wait.
Prepare. Jump like this. Yeah, jump like and hit it. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you go hit it 2 times in the air. Look, 1, 2.
I think this is how you're supposed to push them when you jump into them.
Unless they headshot you right in the face.
Oh, we're pushing frenzy.
Nah, this is tough. Oh, it's people ducking with them. Never mind. I need the AR ammo. Let me get that. I can't carry it. I have minis. I'm coming.
No, I said I'm.
Yo, come in the mountain right quick. Let's break it. Hopefully give us flappers. Let's see people in this stupid truck right here. What is in the ice cube?
Depends. Sometimes it's nothing.
The Ice King was in the ice cube.
This one has nothing in there.
Oh wait. Sniper? Oh, it got a pump. It got a pump. Yo, Ruffles, you know what yeah, I got a blue pump. Take that blue pump.
Already got him.
And I got a blue tank. Oh, this mass shit going down south, bro. Let's go to frenzy. Oh no, we can't. They're still fighting over there. And we gotta wait for the team to come from Frenzy across from us. Stay up here. Everybody stay up here. This might actually be a good position for us.
Oh,
Bear, don't go down there. Come on the mountain.
I see.
Yeah, come on the mountain, bro.
Bro, he's right there, right there.
Let's
He's
go
running
push
away.
faster.
He's running
Let's go
away.
push faster, push it.
Oh, I overhit it.
Okay, King Mark.
I think he's one or two people.
There's one guy.
Oh, and oh, and this nasty.
I got this one.
Anyone got rocket ammo?
You see it, right?
Rocket ammo? No.
Anyone have rocket ammo?
Yeah, I got some for you.
Yellow marker.
Right here. Tips.
Okay, now.
Yeah, are we all together? Are we all together?
Team right here. Team right here.
Oh, Bear needs help. Bear needs help. Oh no. Are you good?
On my left, on my left. They
Oh,
don't
yeah,
see
yeah,
me.
Bear, you're right.
Yeah, let's get the team that Bear is looking at
Right
first.
here, over the little hill.
Oh,
They
they're
don't
trying
see
to
yet.
third party that we're trying to third party.
Yo,
Yeah,
the
wait
whole
for them,
team
wait for them,
right
wait for them
there.
to fight. Wait
Let's
for them.
smoke, let's smoke the team that's trying to
Someone
third
in the
party them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yo, someone.
There's one behind you, Rafi, there's one behind you.
Someone's in the middle of the field, look.
Yo, nah, he's blocking everything. We can't fight him. Get the guy right here, get the guy right here.
So many people. Come.
Rafi, let me get a back shot of him. Give me another angle.
Wait, let him fight you.
In front of me. Oh, I got 3 people. I'm 3 people with lightsaber.
Ah, my son, jump guy.
Where's the other one?
He's right here.
Kill him, look. Oh, 1-1, what, 2?
Can I get
Shoot one more.
Yo, Rafa, whoever who got rocket ammo, can I have it?
I got it, yeah, I got it. Right here, 12. And there's more right here.
Where?
He's hiding? What happened to him?
Nah,
guess
we killed him.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Bro, you killed him. What do you mean, where?
Where?
Rocket ammo, I mean.
People right here. People right here.
There's a flint knock here for somebody.
It's my
And gold dog here.
Oh nah, I got max steel, bro. What the fuck? Anyone?
I got
saw?
max everything.
I'm gonna not.
Yeah,
I
I'm
see
max
people right
everything.
here.
No, let me get in front of you. Keep me in front of you so they can't shoot at you guys. I can block. Keep me in front of you the whole time.
I think they trying to snipe us.
Got a laser.
Are we pushing them?
No, we're not.
Oh, they're running across the water.
Laser them in the water. Alright, whatever. No, I think they're trying to push us, so we're gonna have to push them. Yeah, they're trying to push us.
Oh, I'm ready to push them, bro. Tell me when.
Look, this guy has a jet axe, so watch out.
Oh, there's one in the back. Bro, get the guy that's trailing in the back.
No, I know.
Oh, there's somebody else with a Jedi thing.
One of them is one shot all the way in the back. Oh god, they have a snow one. Tell me, I need you to start using snow one.
Yeah, I don't.
Nigga, what do you mean, where they at? He's on top of me.
Let's stay together. I'm blocking. Oh, nah. He caught me. Help. You guys gotta kill him. He's gonna kill me. He's trying to kill me.
There's one. Fuck that.
Getting in the box. Waiting in the box. Thanks, Rafi. Yo, somebody build behind Rafi.
We can't res.
Yeah, I gotta fight him.
Fight. Go fight. You guys got this.
Oh my god.
He's right. Oh, he's just spraying me.
He got the
I
A
meant
post
to
thing.
Rocky, you get to me.
I'm trying. Drop it.
I dropped it.
It's gonna go soon.
Gym guy.
Gym guy.
Yep.
You got
I
mini?
haven't.
No.
Hold your build.
Let it out.
Hold your build there, hold your build.
I'm holding.
Fuck, I'm trying to get an angle.
You gotta get him up now. No, I don't think it's gonna happen anymore. Nice. It's two of them though. He's sending two of them.
Yo, take my soga. It's gonna volley.
I'm not a big fan of the snow gun. I know y'all like it, but like that shit don't work for me.
You gotta hit them.
Bro, just finesse the man. Nah, cause the storm is going. You gotta go.
Oh, it's right here.
He's dead. He's fucking dead, bro. He's fucking dead. Let's go.
Bozo.
2v2, man, let's go. Good shit.
Yeah, you guys got this.
Yo, I gotta. Yo, take those mini. You didn't take the mini in the back.
I needed them. I couldn't grab them.
Oh, I got 2 minis for you. I got
Take this mini.
4, so I'm gonna let you hold them.
Alright, let's get 2.
I dropped 3. Hold on.
Oh, one more. No, stop. Chill. 1v2. Let's go. They're resting down there. Oh no! Lightsaber! Oh my god! Yeah, you might as well bear.
It was literally 2v1. You should not have to take it.
Yeah, you gotta fight him. Yeah! Jedi battle. Bear's gonna win, bro. Oh no!
Bro,
You see that glitch I'm talking about? You see that thing I'm talking about?
Yo, this game is mad intense.
did y'all see that? Bro, in my screen, he didn't even move.
This is what I'm talking about. You see that, right? The animation, that still go. Yeah, it still go. Even if you get knocked, it's still gonna go. Oh my,
Now-
this is
now
third.
on, I always need a carry.
Oh, this is third time, bro. We became second.
And we died to a lightsaber every time. We've died to a lightsaber, bro.
OD, bro.
Nothing else, just the lightsabers.
A win is coming.
An elegant weapon.
I'm not hitting no gym without a win.
That's a fact.
8:30 though, boys.
I'm
8:30.
tired right now.
I'm gonna pee.
No peeing. This is the last game. I gotta go to Costco. Come on. Vai que legal você só.
I'm gonna take that last one
Yalla.
personally.
Como é essa dan beshi? Mom, how would you like to give your son $3,000? You know how you always say your money is my money? What? I don't even know what to say sometimes. I'm at a loss of words, Ma. Alright.
Bro, you do not know how many memes I've seen.
Yeah, that was a good one, right?
That situation.
That ass.
Ma, what are you talking about? The jury duty? Yeah, I'm telling you I'm doing it. I got bored. I was sitting there for mad long, Mom. Hopefully I make it by the time we come back. By 8, I can go get it. Slurpee, Slurpee. The? এখন সাবাইতে এখন কেটে যেতাম আমার হোসেন পাগল হইছ না তো Every time we go there we get a dub. Tama? I thought you have to get full button stuff. Full rice nook in that style? I know, but like, why are you rushing? It's not like we're in a hurry to eat. Alright, hold on, I'm doing something, Give me a sec.
Oh yeah, there's another team here.
Yup.
Oh yeah, there's another team.
He's right near me,
I'm with you.
Go out there. Go out. Oh, I messed up.
Oh my god.
Got somebody.
Do you not have a gun there? I only have
Nah,
I got a pistol for you.
I have nothing. Oh, I got a gun. I got another shotgun actually. I got 2. I got 3 shotguns.
On me?
On me, right in front of me. He's right in there, he's hiding. Oh, they're both in there. They went upstairs.
Oh, they have lightsabers. Oh god, they got lightsabers. Oh god.
Come here, use the snowball, come here.
Hold on, I'm waiting for them to stop defending.
Oh, he's the only one with the lightsaber. The other one ran through the back. Oh god.
They're resing.
Oh, he got knocked.
He's running.
Oh, he got
You kill him?
Yeah, we gotta go help Rafi, come on. You kill the guy with the lightsaber?
This guy left. He's
What do you
over
mean?
there, look.
I'm chasing
You
him.
wanna kill him?
Oh, whoa.
Now let's go violate him.
You gave me the work, bro.
I killed him.
Oh, nice.
Dance on him.
So I told you, bro. We slay out anytime we land here.
Bro, I
Yo, there's
damaged
cozy
him.
here. Cozy.
I damaged the guy at 75 with the snowball.
Emma?
Keep it right here.
Take that lightsaber.
Nice, Annie. Oh, buddy, you're home. How's your day? How's your day, Rahat? Where'd you go, Gaylord?
There's a blue tap right here.
There has to be a good, healthy mix, you know? Of concern and
You want blue palm or blue tack?
swipe.
Where are you? I'll come to you.
Yo, anytime I come here, bro, there's always some bot team that pushes me, bro. Always.
What is that? Oh, there's another blue tack right there.
I'm good, I don't need the pump, I got me already.
See, I don't have snow gun. Make sure you carry that snow.
Bro, why?
Oh nah. Yo, I'm gonna carry this fish. I'll carry it.
Oh, I hear lightsabers around me.
That's me.
Is that you?
Wait, isn't it us?
Yo, I got a blue thing SMG for somebody.
There's a floppers here.
No, got lightsabers here, boys.
Really? I'm coming. I have the snow gun. So. You wanna use it? Where are you?
Oh, look, there's a red one for you. Take the red one.
I'm about to drop here.
Someone take these medkits.
I got 3 medikits. You got shield for me?
I dropped the shield, bro. I dropped minis right here.
Huh? You better here, take the mini. No, okay, you have to hurry?
Yeah, I need one.
Yeah, there's the one right there. Here's all your rockets around here.
Word, I got 3.
Give it to him.
Yo, snowball gun and RPG.
We need all of them.
Yeah, you got both of that now.
You have another snow gun? I'm about to take that.
The blue one. And there's a blue RPG here too.
Oh, I
What?
a llama.
Yo, there's somebody there. There's somebody there. Look, 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 look.
Shit, there is. They did the same thing we did, Bear. Where'd my blue AR go? What the fuck?
It's under this shit. Where'd they go? I don't even see them no more.
He's east. They're east. They're east.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get high ground on us right there.
Oh, where the fuck did my gun go?
Yo, they're northeast from us, bro.
Where did your gun go?
Yo.
Yo, I need help. I need help. They're pushing me. They're pushing me.
Go help Pluto. I'm about to help him right now.
I got the lightsaber, but I can't do much.
There's another blue.
Wait. He got a snowball gun. Fuck.
I sniped at 100. I sniped at 100. That one who's shooting back. He's shooting up.
Oh, yo. Two team. Be careful. Hold up.
I'm trying to let them put it out.
Now, we're good. It's just them.
Yo, let's stay close. Let's stay close. Beer, I got your back, bro. Yo, I'm gonna watch your back. Oh, let's be like Jedis. We watch each other's back like this. Bro, I just blocked your shot, bro. Somebody trying to snipe you from northwest.
Pop that mini.
They're pushing us.
I can't.
I hit one of them. I need help.
I'm gonna hold the building. Take it.
One in the top. They got high ground.
Oh, he's right here.
Yo, they got all 3 of us? They capping, bro.
Nah, bro.
Bro.
I didn't see the guy with the snow. I just seen the guy in front of us.
Bro, they got us a snow gun, I think.
Getting up on that. I didn't see anyone else.
Nah, that was a fucking... This was a PC gang, bro. This is a streamer team.
We got obliterated. What's the word?
Huh?
I think it was a bad
Nothing
idea.
these guys are better than that.
I think it was a bad idea pushing me. I don't care. I like one.
Oh, there's one coming up. Now there's another team pushing, so I guess it was a bad idea.
Oh my god.
They ready for the last drip to the school, gone blow, gone, they don't see, but we gon' go strong.
First, you got your present?
Yeah,
You wrapped it up?
no, I'm gonna.
I wrap my shit up right now. Just, it's ready, bro.
I heard you, bro. Let me get that.
You want the wrapper? I have it. Alright, Trace. Oh, that. Go dirty,
Hey.
bro. Go dirty.
We're going here. We're going here.
No.
Body.
Why? That's a new thing.
Yeah, bro. Anything else?
Look at this tryhard right there. Look. See that? If we go Hollywood, why don't we just go to Sweaty Sand?
Let's go to Sweaty. Nah, let's go to Sweaty.
Sweaty's better, bro.
Down.
Sweaty's way better.
I will jump.
Bro, I already went to things, bro. What the fuck?
No, I could go. I could turn around. Not a big deal. I'm already low.
And people are already mad low.
Yeah, cause y'all did some fuck shit.
We.
You wanna be like,
Excuse me, sir.
oh, there's a guy right there, bro. I'm not going there. Fuck it. What do you mean? There's one guy there.
Wow, one guy, wow.
Wait up, bro.
He's gonna solo squad us, bro. Take care of this one guy.
Watch referee.
Mark my words, he's gonna solo squad us.
He's gonna be like, yo, I need help.
Yup, he's gonna be like, I pushed him.
What is this shitty face, bro? I got no gun.
Cause nobody's here, bro. That's why you got no gun.
Oh, he just left.
I would leave too, bro.
My building. I just let him leave.
I'm going to check. Oh, we don't have to go. Look at the circle is right next to it. Oh, nah.
I need that there. Mr. Spades.
Yo, y'all need to stop pulling with a lightsaber, but that's how we die.
That ass, bro. Y'all didn't be fighting.
No, because listen, y'all do it too much. Like,
What are you talking about, bro?
I'm saying, I just go and push too much with the lightsaber. Then when you hit them,
Bro, me and Bear was literally not pushing last game. We were in a box and they pushed us.
I only use it literally when
I use the lightsaber as my pickaxe. That's why I like it. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I like fucking with it. I be destroying cities.
always use it when
I'm breaking this guy building down. Fuck this thing.
carry too big.
Me. I'm already carrying one. Let me get it. Let me break this whole building down to find it. Because I don't want to fucking climb.
I mean, you get free match. Okay, it doesn't matter.
What?
You get free match.
Yeah, you get mad, bro. That's why I like doing it.
I'm making this whole building.
Who wants some blue?
Get that.
Two of them. Did you take the other one, Ratu?
Yeah, I just took a blue SMG.
We got them both.
Oh, don't go yet. Let me break this building.
Yeah, fish. Look, there's fish right there.
Where's the blue?
Look, slurp.
Who took the other one?
Where's the great AR I had? Going for supply drop. You heard, boys?
Yeah, help me break this building.
So let's go on the boat. Yeah.
Wow, I found a llama and the supply drop together. What are the odds? Bandit gun, big shield.
Yeah, get on.
Oh, gold RPG. Hello. Hi. Hey.
Oh, Jim guys, hello. I guess they're breaking the building.
Loading all this ammo. Hold on. Fat race, relax.
Who's shooting?
I hear people shooting.
You're lying. I'm not nowhere near you boys. Come back around.
Bad driver.
Break it, bro. What are you doing?
Someone wanna hold the big shield?
I'm
I'm already holding 3.
Oh, I hold this third medikit then.
I'll take it. There's minis right there. 3 minis. Alright. Fuck, I might just drop a mech here, but then this side.
No, take the medikit, hold the medikit. Drop this third, hold the two big shields, go.
I need a
Rafi
better
came
AR.
for the robbery.
I need a better AR.
I got you. What kind of shotgun you looking for?
In general.
Oh, there's a gold scar here. I might take my silence one.
I'll take that, bro.
It's gone. It's been claimed by the Raffinator.
Oh, y'all got that. Oh, man! On top of the roof. Wow. Yo, Ratu, can you stop on that? Let's do that shit when we're fighting, brother. One top. They're on high ground,
I hit it for double
I killed him, oh, that was the only one.
No, there's another one on me. There's another one on me.
And rocket.
They on me.
Where's them guys?
Right here. Yo, Raz, Ratu, come back, fall back.
Come back.
Can you guys
I'll pick him up.
I'm overbuild.
It's in the bed. You got a big shield?
I just got sniped. Oh no.
You have a big shield.
Teams.
Anyone got a big shield drop?
I have no big shield.
Just for 5 more seconds. Got a real
There's another team, bro. Fuck.
There's 2 teams. We're in the middle of them.
Alright,
Yeah,
I'm ready to
I'm
get out. Come on. Come to the house.
I'm here. They literally screaming. Yeah, y'all gotta fight. It's like 2 teams.
Yo, play smart. Play the house.
They're here. We gotta get ready to fight. They're high. They're fucking good stuff. No, stop beating me, stupid Igor. They're at it, yeah. Come on.
Damn. All of them solo.
Bro, we got right middle of the whole team, bro. Yeah.
One more or not?
Yeah. Bro, we got whole middle of the whole team, bro.
Why is it that wherever we push the whole lobby to start?
Yeah, they're like, yo, game time.
Game time. Boys are fighting.
Yo, what time gym? Rat face. Rat. Indoor.
And saying it in the English accent, but indoor.
Endurance. Let's go gym after this game.
No.
I'm not going to it.
7:30. 8
Ah,
o'clock.
7.
8 o'clock.
So 2 games then.
Cool game. I'm gonna eat something real quick. 7:30.
Let's go to my spot.
Go to Pleasant. We need to go to Pleasant today.
Let's go.
There's some
Dub out of Pleasant. Let's see. Who knows?
face.
Ilaita say she's in traffic.
What do you think?
Amu, there's traffic, mom.
I think we should all stay.
আমি তোমার কইলাম একজনের লাগে অপেক্ষা করতেছে আমু তুমি একটু বেশি করো মাঝে মধ্যে একটু টু মাচ করো মা তোমার
There's 2 teams here.
আমি তোমার কইলাম মা লেটস গো আমি অনেক দিন ধরে কইতে যেমন করে খাস কো
Only
Yo,
sound.
हाँ तुम्हें तो अम्मू you're doing too much mom तुम्हें आना हमें problem create करता सो
Come up, come up, come up.
আমি বুয়া বলতে but mom আমি তোমাকে তুমি misunderstand করতা সো but mom you're saying that অতকাল সময় লাগে mom I'm telling you it takes that long আমি তোমার কইতাছি unbelievable
I'm here with you.
Yeah, let me get a tip. Right next to you. And the ammo if you got. I have no
the
ammo.
people down there
I have little ammo. I only have 36 ammo.
Where's people?
east there's a team of 3 east behind the
Blue house. Hold up. Before we push anything, let's be smart about this.
they're right here they're in that house right there
Don't push anything. I'm on top of blue house right now.
Or me too.
Someone's behind blue house and going into blue house. Yeah, right.
He's white. Shit.
Yo, why we
Hey,
just
boy.
spotted like that?
His teammates tried to help him.
Teammates right there. Teammates right there.
Oh, someone behind me.
Oh, there's a lightsaber.
Behind us.
yo they all got lightsabers we got a thing disengage
Behind us.
they all got lightsabers bro
Oh, I knocked
Yo,
him with the
nigga bear.
Saw that? You saw that? Yo.
bro they all coming with their lightsabers bro
Oh shit.
Watch out.
We violated.
There's one in the top.
yo there's a team with lightsabers coming soon
What?
Play house. Play top of the house. Play the top of the house.
that's some bro he saw the finesse he hit me with bro I got flint knocked
Wow.
That don't count.
he flint knocked me from the air bro
Nigga, we violated a team and then got violated. Fuck
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Had like 3 knocks.
Yeah, he hit you with something, but what gun is that? After he knocked you, he pulled you out and killed you. Fat face. Fat face. You hear me?
Kitabe.
You going gym today or not?
Yeah, Endor.
Nice lie, bro. Nice lie, Mr. Indoor. I mean, Endurance. Yo, please low-key landing, bro, if you want to get dubbed. It's so annoying, but this fucking lightsaber is so dumb. Endurance. Right here. Endurance, go here.
that's not low key let's go to islands
No. Yeah, island. That's the.
Which one you are going? Let me go to this big one. Which one, you gonna go to the big one?
I always go to that metal island first
Alright, I'm gonna go to the lighthouse.
okay sounds good
Hopefully,
yeah which one you got okay you got the island hopefully I'm by myself
hopefully I don't fall down, but I'm scared about that. Last time I went there, I fell down.
not lightsaber.
Take your friendly. Oh, no.
It's taken because of
Oh, geez. Look at how old he is.
Yo,
Mark the
Fuck this, man.
lightsabers?
Yo, I think somebody landed on my island.
Say a word.
100%. So he left.
they're up the tower. Up there.
Oh, I see.
oh no, I got the new gun. I'm about to take that.
No gun. The AUG?
Yeah. And I got a purple gold sniper.
Nice, bring that, bro.
Let me take it.
Bro, you want that?
Of course. On the fire.
And I'm here with my gray shotgun, gray sniper,
Yeah.
green AR,
Green AR.
Circle.
and a medikit.
And a medikit.
He knows I'm gonna need a medikit, so
Yeah, he know we gonna get down. We all gonna get down.
Yeah, I'm about to
Wait,
scoop
fuck.
it.
Oh, fuck.
Yup, I need to pick up ASAP.
Yo, Bruton, I got 2 big pots for you. Vector, you want the SMG or what?
What color?
Purple.
Coming around. Like here. First, they're about to-
Just meet up, what's this, what is this called? Pleasant. Matter of fact, I'm about to get a boat from right here.
There, get
yo,
Get on.
Off. Risky?
Yo, you guys wanna use the truck right over there?
No.
Start rocking him. See you bear, learn how to flex it.
Unlooted. Oh no, never mind. Looted.
Oh, I got 800 fucking wood, so what the fuck? Ah. Stop the thing. Listen, I got a big truck for you. You wanna drink it?
That's good.
I have 3 on me.
Thank you.
Let's use that campfire, man. Fucking took fall damage.
Yo,
Hey,
people.
shots.
Oh my god, two teams. Yo, stop. Everyone stop doing this. Hide in this house. Get the high ground to this house. We're not dying like last time. We're on the high. We're on the high in this house. I got height. I got OD height.
Oh, I knocked him. I knocked him. I sniped him. Right here. They're getting red zone.
Right. Punch up. Fuck this.
Bro,
Got somebody on me. I got somebody on me. I need help.
I knocked him. Let me see him.
Come to her.
I got 2 on me right here.
Why this nigga die, bro?
Oh, I got 2 people on me.
Yo, Ratu, he's there.
Leave the house.
Yo, he's nice. Is it Ma?
I'm right next to that little house.
Fuck, bro. There's too many of them, bro. Fuck's sake.
I have a medikit, so you could just res me now.
There's a whole team there, yo. They was hiding in the house, bro.
I think I gotta stop.
Stop.
Do you have an extra med kit?
I don't. Bro, honestly, you could just take the medikit.
Nah, I gotta flip it. Hopefully they drop it, man.
Bro, there's a
You have
whole
a-
team.
Do you have a mech on your body or anything like that?
Yo, I think I should take their snow gun.
Oh, we're dead, bro. Oh, I see a mech kit. Fuck, I wish I could remember.
How far is the circle?
Take these.
Oh, there's a mech right there,
I see it.
Oh, that's perfect. Just did one more. Blackface. Fuck it, bro. I'm not. I got 2 knock.
I'm gonna take it before 30, I think.
You
Yeah.
got one? You picked it up?
Yeah, I'm good.
Valid. We're both on that.
I got 2 knocks to go there, so fuck it.
Yeah, we valid.
You don't understand, there was a whole team in the fucking house hiding with a lightsaber. They were just waiting for us to finish fighting with them.
Yeah, there were 2 teams, bro.
Yeah, they was literally waiting in the house. I was like, what the fuck? And they all come out with a lightsaber.